This exploration delves into the nature of perception and reality, contrasting the comprehensive understanding of angelic minds with the more limited and often illusory perspective of the natural human mind. We will consider how angelic intellects perceive the relationship between inner states and outer objects, and how this differs from the natural mind's experience of space, time, and sensory perception. Through this comparison, we aim to illuminate the distinction between natural and spiritual understanding, ultimately revealing a path towards perceiving true reality. Angelic intellects, owing to the purity of their affections and the corresponding clarity of their rational perceptions, possess a remarkable and comprehensive understanding of the relationship between their internal worlds of love and thought and the external objects that enter their awareness. This insight is immediate and unforced, allowing them to grasp both their own states of mind and those of others. Everything that presents itself to their senses is understood as a representative expression of these inner states. Their thoughts immediately connect with the spiritual causes and purposes these representations signify. Only these causes and purposes stimulate their intellects. No natural relationships, which are mere appearances, can obscure the brightness and beauty of their perceptions. Instead of being deceived by the illusions of appearances, a realm of spiritual realities is revealed to their reason. They perceive sensory objects as manifestations of relationships within the living forms of mind. Thus, they see things as they truly are, connecting them with the infinite and eternal Lord as their ultimate cause, making them truly alive. Unlike those who are naturally minded, whose thoughts are often clouded by the fallacies of space and time, angels are incapable of such thinking, for the light of truth is ever present in their minds. Natural perception, being inherently illusory, tends to absorb the mind, hindering its ability to perceive the connections between sensory objects and the diverse, often conflicting aspects of human consciousness. Consequently, these connections must be learned by rote. Thinking in terms of space and time, the natural individual lacks any true understanding of their deeper meaning. Even those with partially awakened spiritual awareness rarely grasp this significance. This deficiency is an inevitable consequence of a mind employing both natural and spiritual ways of thinking. As spiritual understanding dawns within the mind, early mistaken impressions must be corrected. The linking of objects perceived by natural light with the states of mind belonging to the light of heaven occurs gradually. The degree and quality of this linking determines how clearly the truth of correspondence can be perceived. The mind, now instructed by spiritual insight, realizes that the physical world, with its material structure of aggregated atoms, was, in its previous understanding, unreal because it was contrary to true reality. These objects and the space in which they were thought to exist are now seen as the effects of spiritual or mental causes, not as causes themselves. Through the eyes of spiritual reason, it becomes clear that the existence of the world has nothing to do with any inherent power within matter. Its continued existence comes from the Lord, and its preservation is a constant act of creation. No longer a slave to sensory impressions that falsely suggested his thoughts and affections were separate and independent from the divine life, the enlightened individual now cherishes the understanding that all conscious experience, whether sensory, volitional or intellectual, flows from the Lord. This life, received finitely and imperfectly by created minds, is distinct yet not separate from the divine life. The enlightened individual no longer seeks the causes of their sensations beyond their own conscious mind in a static world of space. They no longer naively assume that the Creator is personally present in every part of that space to carry out his works, as is suggested by a materialistic view of reality. They recognize that there can be no external space and independent time, and that God does not exist in one without also existing in the other. They are convinced that such independent space and time are unreal conclusions of the natural mind, which, being contrary to the truth, renders the physical world unreal. Imagining God filling the natural universe with his personal presence and coexisting within natural time only adds to the number of illusory appearances. The truth is that all things in heaven or to spiritual and celestial minds are real to the extent that their minds are receptive to the light of life. This light provided through genuine spiritual concepts reveals the purpose of various objects brought into existence and their creation, converting instinctive perceptions into genuine appearances. Unlike the natural mind, which perceives through false appearances, the spiritual mind perceives objects as they are, making them truly real. This mind connects these objects with the infinite and eternal Lord as their source, thereby bringing them to life. This exploration of spiritual and natural perception reveals the vast potential for growth in our understanding of reality. While the angelic mind operates with an innate clarity, those, subject to a natural mode of thinking, are on a journey towards unveiling the spiritual truths that lie beneath the surface of their everyday experiences in the world. By striving to connect with our divine source and nurture our spiritual reason, we can move towards a more profound perception of the world and our place within it.